there's been a real change from nobody knew what was happening, what they were going to do, how they were going to do it. Textile manufacturer commenting on how lockdown 2.0 is hitting the supply chain. He was quoted as saying, cancellations today in lockdown 2.0 are less frequent than they were in March, but they are coming faster. Everything from migrant workers facing starvation through to a narrative of this will be the reset, the coronavirus will be the reset button for the industry. The companies that are not dealing with sustainability in a meaningful way will drop by the wayside.
Throughout this second wave of the crisis, what we have found is that buyers are being more transparent. They are discussing with us as suppliers, both as VGMA and as suppliers, on what actions they're planning to take.
Is that the crisis has really put the spotlight on the core of the problem in the sector in terms of vulnerabilities to external shocks and especially the socioeconomic impact in the producing countries.
We should assume that nothing is going to be the same after this. That people have changed, economic situations have changed, communities have changed, marketplaces have changed. But very important change in consumer values. That before the pandemic, consumers were worried about the aesthetics. I want to look good. I want to be fashionable. Now the value is I want to feel safe. I want to feel good. I want to be more secure about what I am and what I'm using. They're looking for products that are sustainable, healthy, and good.
Everybody does want to sustain their ecosystem. Well, now, how vast or spread out that ecosystem is going to be, that's going to be a different issue. The ecosystem is going to see a contraction where we have a narrower focus with a narrower number of survivors in the retail market, buyers, working with a narrower group of suppliers in Asia.
You have to sustain your ecosystem. It's no good that you survive, your company survive and come out of this, but all your consumers are in trouble, so there's nobody buying your goods. On the other hand, it's no good that you survive and there's nobody making goods for you. So the entire ecosystem that you operate in has to maintain some degree of health. And now we have an opportunity as consumers choose to figure out what they consume and how they consume and how that is valuable to them for us to make something different. It's about repurposing our business as a force of good. We measure productivity, profitability in a new way, and about reinventing new materials, new processes, and new supply chains.
We need to have some method or system in place which allows us to balance the risk between producers and our buyers. Today, a customer buys 1 million pieces of a particular denim trouser from Bangladesh. That customer is taking a risk that they have to sell that. But until the point that we've actually handed over to the customer that 1 million pieces, the entire liability is on the supplier. And that liability has to be shared. There has to be some system which is fair purchasing practices. This is something that we really need to work on. We need to have a win-win solution which is not based upon grandstanding or big statements, but a pragmatic approach on how to share risk. As an exporting country, have to diversify both our markets and the type of customer that we are selling to. If you happen to be an online-only retailer in Germany who specializes in selling pajamas and leisure wear, this is probably the best time that you've ever had in your life. If you happen to be a bricks and mortar fashion outlet supplying office wear, well, then you're dead. So what we need to do as supplying countries is make sure that we are less dependent on particular types of buyers who retail in a particular channel.
This is not about incremental change. So this is not kind of, reducing a little bit of renewable energy here, or doing something with minimum wages in another place. This could be, if we use it right, an opportunity really to look at the big systemic changes of the industry and create new alliances, new partnerships to address some of these challenges. We really have to start working together in a different way, and to contribute to that. I would see that as the role of development organizations, of course, together with the industry and industry stakeholders.